Say, bruh, it's the podcast.
What's up? It's Hot Boy Troy. We got C.U.D.I.E, and this is the Say Bruh podcast episode 12.
Yes, sir.
12, man.
That's big. That's
and then
big.
we got a special guest, Mr. 408 in the building, Mr. San Jose.
This guy.
Oh God,
man. It ain't nothing like the 504.
Nah. We got Mr. Cares.
Oh, Mr. K-Rich Cares
in the house.
Mr. What you
Appreciate
sipping
it.
on?
Mr. What you sipping on?
Mr. of the Misters.
Mr. Oh Lord.
Mr. Oh Lord.
Give it
you're
up for
right.
K-Rich.
Hey, man, I appreciate
Mr.
y'all,
You
man.
know.
Hey, look, man, I'm just hanging out. You feel me? I'm just hanging out, man. Shout out to you first off. Shout out to y'all, man, because I'm liking what you guys are doing. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of podcasts, you know, and I think what you guys are doing and just the glow up from episode 1 to now is extremely dope. So
Thank
first
you,
and
man.
foremost, shout out to
Thank you,
y'all.
thank
for
you.
real.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to even come out. I know your schedule is super busy.
It's crazy. We had to just put that request in.
Sometimes you
Make
just
them
gotta
phone calls.
blo-
Hey, yo, can we book Rich or?
Hey, just blow up the call. I didn't know if we had to call Empire or
This guy.
get those rights in, but
Look, man, you guys got the
Are they gonna
direct
clear?
line.
Are they gonna clear the podcast?
I gotta see. I gotta put the call in. I'll push it through.
Nah, man. Thank you. We appreciate having you on here. When we started the podcast, we wanted to do it for people like yourself, people that do for the community, and people that are just grinding and doing things and have something to say and will motivate people.
Appreciate it.
the guy who definitely will get the party started for sure. I mean,
Man.
I've been to a few of your functions, and
A few.
they slap hard.
I appreciate it, man. You know, it's all about providing the landscape. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm a firm believer in it doesn't matter where the party's gonna be or where the event is. You know what I mean? You got to bring a certain energy level. Period. You feel
That's
me?
right.
So it can be like a 10-person party, or it can be thousands of people. But you know, at the end of the day, you got to bring the energy. So yeah, the functions. Come on, man.
Hey,
Come on, man.
hey.
It's something
That's
special.
what's up, man.
Something special.
Nah, it's always a good time. So, for the people who don't know, like, tell us about K-Rich. Where you from? Like, you know, how you got into the whole DJ world, and
Because I feel like a lot of people, I mean, even like a person like myself, when I met you, I thought you're homegrown in Fresno.
Right.
And later, as we got a little closer, I learned that you were from out of town. And
Yeah.
but it's like anything else. It's like myself. Like once you come to Fresno, people welcome you and make you part of the city.
Definitely, man. Originally born in San Jose, California, born and raised. I'm a Taurus. Shout out to all the Tauruses out there.
okay, that's why we get along. I'm a Virgo as well. And
You a
know,
shark.
You know what I'm saying? But grew up in the 408, San Jose.
San Ho.
Yeah, San Jose. I grew up on the south side of San Jose and the east side of San Jose.
South side.
South side. But I grew up all over, man. And to be honest with you, I literally was able to live on both sides of the tracks. Like I had an older sister who was like getting kicked out of every school she went to, was getting in
thugging it out
fights.
there?
She was out there thugging. You feel me?
Wildin'.
Wild Magnolia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. But my mom's side of the family's from New York, and my dad's side
Okay.
of the family is from Arkansas. So definitely have like the down south like vibe. But at
Dude,
the
that's
same
a
time,
good ass
East Coast.
mix though. Like,
Crazy mix, man. My mom's side of the family's Cuban.
Oh
You feel
wow.
me?
okay.
Yeah, my middle name's Armando.
Armando
Armando.
with the extra R's.
With the extra R's on it. You know
That's
what I mean?
crazy.
So had a great upbringing, just running around playing sports and getting involved with everything sports related. As a kid, when we moved into this apartment complex, I remember I was like, man, I'm trying to get some money. Like I'm trying to stack some money. And, because I wanted to go to McDonald's and get the Happy Meal to get the toy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I remember I got the idea of getting a broom and just going like door to door, just knocking on doors and saying, hey, do you guys need your porch swept, or do you need your rakes, your leaves raked?
Yep.
And by doing that, I literally just started stacking like some money here and there, and then I saved it. And then once I got to high school, I met my boy DJ Hobbs One, who was the first person to introduce me to DJing. We used to go to his house, and he would DJ in the room, and we made up a fake show called Bedroom Radio. And that's what started off.
Might have to trademark that name. That's a good name.
Hey, just like Say Bruh, you know what I'm saying?
Say, bro. No, that's dope, man. And from there, they just sparked it up and made you want to take it to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy, man. That started carrying his crates to his events and his parties and stuff. And then I remember one specific party, all the equipment went out. Okay. Like the sound, the lights, everything went out. And then he just looked at me and was just like, bro, do something. Yeah. And I just remember I just was like, throw your hands in the air. And everybody started doing it. And at that point, that was the moment I was like, yo, this is crazy. So then after that, I became an MC.
That's dope, because I always see it like, I always seen you that way too, because like the music's dope no matter what. Like you have a cool playlist and you know what hits to play, but just the MCing part, like the hosting and just getting on the mic and knowing the right words to say, like that's something different.
Appreciate it.
And that's something that stands out.
Appreciate it. That's the most important thing as a DJ to me, is you have to be able to talk and you know, anyone can play the songs, but what's that extra sauce in between, you know? And
is it like obviously it's whatever you give into the crowd will give it back to you, and y'all just feeding off each other's energy, and
and then it just elevates. It's like, you know, when you first start DJing a party, at least from my understanding, it's like I started looking around, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody's dancing at the start of the party, right? So you have to look around and you're just trying to set the mood. You're playing different songs from maybe different eras of time, and you're just looking to see, oh, okay, they're nodding their head over here, or oh, they're tapping their foot over here, and then you try to build it from there. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah. Well, how was did you ever get those experiences where no one's dancing? Does it feel like you feel like some sort of pressure?
There's always pressure at different events, you know. Every event is different. You know, you do a wedding, there's definitely pressure doing a wedding, because you want to make sure that you have everyone dancing, from grandma to grandpa's like, all right, let me play some older music. And then even when you're doing events now, like you go out to the high schools in Central California, if you're playing songs that are on the radio, they're not rocking with you, period.
They want that underground.
They want that underground slap, you know what I mean? So there's always pressure, you know, especially like when you do big concerts and events. If you're doing like the Save March Center, I got to DJ for Fresno State, and it's like you have so many different people that are in there, and it's like, all right, entertain us, make us enjoy this music. And you know, there's always pressure, but you just got to deliver.
What's that one hit that go to when it's like no one's dancing?
Come on, man. I think that's like a given.
What would you pick? What would you pick?
Come on, like, you know, for the 99 and 2000. Hey, y'all already know. Once y'all, I know y'all see no memes, like people like, as soon as you hear that, they just start running to the dance floor.
And I feel like from people I know, like they'll just throw on Suavemente.
Suavemente is another one.
Right away.
Crazy, right? So when I first got to Fresno, you know, I came out to Fresno to go to school at Fresno State. And I ended up walking onto the football team. There was 100 people that tried out. Only 3 people made the team. Okay. Crazy experience. But when I got injured at Fresno State, and then had 2 surgeries on my foot. I was on crutches for literally a whole year. It was probably one of the most depressing times in my life, because I was like, man, like I was supposed to play sports. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. So I picked up the turntables and started DJing in the room with my foot just up in the air, because I had to chill. Right. So during that time, that's when I got my I was on crutches in a boot. So I started going to parties, and then I was like, dang, like, yo, like they're not really playing any like Spanish music or anything, but this is interesting, because it was just in Fresno State, different parties. And then I went to one party, and the DJ dropped Suavemente, and literally the entire club just went up.
Bananas.
Exactly. And at the time, I was like, yo, what is this? Right. And that's when I first got into like, okay, being in Central California, you have to have your Spanish music has to be on point. You at least got to have like the top 10 Spanish slaps.
Man, you play Suavemente, you throw on La Chona.
La Chona's, that's my one.
That's the one.
You know what I'm saying? You got to put some Vicente Fernandez on. Ramon Ayala.
Okay.
That's the end of the night, joint.
Tragos? What? You got to. It's mandatory.
So that was one of the questions about Fresno State. Is that what
brought you to
Fresno?
Yeah, because during during the hyphy movement and all that stuff was going crazy.
What was that like? 07?
07. Well, technically in the Bay, it really started to pop like 04, 05.
04.
And
That's when that Genie and the Lamp and
all that stuff was going crazy, right? And during that time, like the Federation, Keek the Sneak, Frontline, you know, just all these Bay Area just legends, they were putting out all this music, and a lot of the parties we were going to, you saw there was started to become like a shift. Like there was energy and it was dope, but then it turned into like a lot of hood functions, which isn't a problem. Hood functions, you know, parties are parties, whatever, but some of the hood functions started getting shot up, and then certain things would happen, and like some of the homies started like kind of going down the wrong path. And during that time, I was like, yo, like I got to get out of this whole environment because I can already see what's gonna happen.
Change the scenery.
So then I was like, yo, let me slide out to Fresno. It's not too far from home, but at the same time, like, you know, let me step out. So that's what brought me to Fresno for sure.
Man, I got you out here in the heat.
Man, what? My first experience with Fresno Heat was playing football, summertime, Fresno State training camp. Boy,
brutal, huh?
Bruh, you could make, there's 3 workouts, the 6 a.m., the 9 a.m., or the 12. And everybody stayed up late, so you missed the 6 a.m., obviously. Then so you would either come to the 9 or the 12. But you would wake up, man, I'm not coming to the 9. I'm going to go to the 12. Dude, you came to the 12.
Feeling like hot yoga out there.
Bruh, hot yoga. Shout out Christine Brown.
Shout out CB.
For real, like, I'm talking about when I say hot yoga, it was hot yoga extreme. We had to run the bleachers in the stadium.
Yikes.
Imagine being out there at 12 o'clock to like 2 o'clock, just running up and down those bleachers.
And you're not used to this because San Jose
is beautiful weather.
It's breezy out there.
It's breezy. Man, Central California is heat. What? I don't come out nowadays, bro. You hit me early. Hey, man, let's do the podcast. I was waiting for the time. He said 7:30. I said, okay, I can come outside.
It's like
and he came through in the hoodie.
Came through in the hoodie, baby. You know what I'm saying? You got to.
It's almost hoodie season out here.
Yep, it is almost
Man,
hoodie
we
season.
feel like one slight, like just a little bit of the breeze and, man, bring out the
Oh,
sweat.
yeah,
good.
for sure, bro. I see this said 79 degrees. I said, oh,
we could deal with the 80s over here. That's nothing.
Yeah, so after you get injured, the whole Fresno State, you got your foot up in the air, elevated, like the doctor said.
Yep.
Like the doctor said.
Like, so how did the DJ inside, as far as, you know, you going, I don't know if you was going to events or you was just trying to get your foot in the door. Right. See what I did there, right?
Did that. The foot in the door. I like that. Well, I was just in the room DJing, right? So, you know, going to events was something that I did. One of my boys, my other mentor, DJ Checo, was out in the Bay Area, and I went home to visit one of my friends, and there was a big party at Santa Clara University, and we went, and he was DJing the whole night. He like shut it down, and I was like, "Yo, what's your contact?" And I had my crutches and my boot, and then he gave me his number, whatever, and then I started going to events with him to help him set up, just like I was doing with Hobbs One. But when I got back to Fresno, you know, I was just DJing in the room, nonstop DJing, and I lived in the Bulldog Village, so I had the window right next to the swimming pool. So I would DJ with the speaker next to the window, so people
at the pool.
People in the pool would be chilling, girls would be out,
dope.
guys would be chilling, right? And then
that's marketing right there.
that's marketing. I'm trying to tell you. So then a fraternity, so people would literally come and chill next to the window and be like, "Hey, you're tight." I'm like, "Thank you." And this one fraternity came up. One of these fraternity guys came up and they're like, "Hey, we have a party on Friday. Can you want to DJ?" And I was like, "Wait, what? Dang, like yeah, let's do it." So I went to DJ that party, and after I DJed the party, there was other sororities there, other fraternity guys there, and they were like, "Hey, what's your number? We have a party next week. We have a party next month. Can you do it? Can you do it?" And after that, that's when everything like shot up, just went crazy. I started DJing all the parties for Fresno State, for fraternities, sororities. At the same time, I was working 3 jobs. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like trying
the hustler.
Got to, bro.
That's dope, man. And how did that? Because when I met you, you were working for the station, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Did that lead on to did you start interning or how?
Yeah. So I got with B95 in Fresno. I got with them. There was a competition. So shout out to Claudia Ruiz. When I was
What up, Claudia?
When I was working all these jobs, she hit me up. She said, "Hey, there's a job fair. You should bring your resume." And I was like, "Well, I have to work, so I'm not going to be able to make that." So she was like, "All right, well, give me your resume. I'm going to pass
email
it out."
it.
Right. So sent her the resume. She printed it out, and she started. She took it over to the job fair. She ends up meeting Greg Hoffman, who was the program director at B95 at the time.
Okay.
And she said, hey, there's this DJ. His name's DJKAYRICH. He's really dope. Like, you should give him a shot at the radio. And he was just like, well, he's like, you know what? We actually have a competition. And if he enters the competition, if he wins, he gets a job at the station. And I was like, oh, okay. So she hit me up and she said, hey, there's a competition. The only thing is you have to go this Friday. And then she told me this on Monday. And I was like, well, wait, what?
Shit.
Competition? And I was like, man. So sure enough, I only had vinyl at the time. I didn't have Serato.
Yeah.
But all the new music, they weren't pressing it up.
Yeah.
So I went over to Guitar Center with my financial aid check.
Hey, you got to get it how you live.
Got to get it how you live. It was like $800 at the time, $700, something like that. Spent it on the Serato box. Brought that to the house. Learned Serato like in 2 or 3 days, and then had the competition Friday. Right.
Yes.
For that competition, was it like I'm just envisioning Juice when they up top and they just battling? Was that how it was?
It was, it was a whole bunch of DJs in a room, literally probably smaller than someone's like, you look at someone's like bathroom is like the size, like everyone's in there just crunched in. You know what I mean?
Don't be hitting my
How'd you
elbow.
do?
How'd you do? I did great, but right. It was based off of votes, and since I was new to the area, I didn't really have the people like that. So the station, each round, the station kept voting me back. They're like, they had the wild card pick, so they're like, yo, like, you didn't win this round, but we're bringing you back. So it was like round
So
one.
you weren't getting the people's choice. You're getting the judges' vote.
Getting the judges' vote. Exactly.
Yeah.
So then it went from round 1 to round 2 to like round 3, and then the final round was me and one other guy. Shout out to the homie, man. DJ D-Struck. What up? So we were literally my bad, D-Rock, DJ D-Rock. My bad. D-Rock. What up? So then he won. He beat me, and I came in second. But then 3 months later, I guess he stopped the station, and then they called me and they was like, "Hey, this position opened
Slots
up."
open.
Yeah. So then I started doing Fridays and Saturday nights with my brother Jizzo and the kid Cookie. We were doing Fridays and Saturdays.
Man, Jizzo's been out there grinding for a while, right?
Man, Jizzo's one of the hardest working cats. Period.
Shout
bro.
out
Like,
Jizzo.
that's my bro
What up,
for
Jizzo?
life. For real. What up, boy?
That's dope. So when did Juicebox and Killer B and everybody,
Bro,
because are they all from San Ho?
Killer B's from Oakland.
From
and
Oakland.
Then,
Yeah, that's right. He is.
He's from Oakland. He's Raiders to the death. Shout out to Killer B.
They had a good week. Now I like Hard Knocks, so I checked them out.
See, look, you give it the props. Right?
Yeah, they good.
And then Juicebox, we actually
Juicebox.
Yeah. We actually met in high school, man. We've known each other. It's 2019 right now. We've known each other for 19 years, bro.
That's dope.
So we met in high school. We met at the locker in high
shit.
school, and we were like,
We
I don't know why.
selling each other stuff or what?
Nah, literally, we were like, how you get your little locker your
Yeah,
combo
yeah.
code for the combination? I was like, man, I'm gonna
Trying to
forget
figure it
this.
out?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna forget this, and I was like, yo, and I just looked over. I was like, hey, bro, you want to hold this? Hold this for me? I was like, I'm gonna forget it, and then he held it, and we've been boys ever since, bro. That's like
Man,
my ride or
that's
die.
good people right there.
Yeah, definitely, man. But Killer B got to the radio station. He went through an internship program.
Was he going to state as well?
He was going to Fresno State as well. And Killer B is honestly one of the most talented and slept on-air personalities that I
great,
personally
man.
know.
Yeah.
I put him up there with the big boys. I put him up there with the Charlamagne the
sir.
Gods.
Yeah.
I think he's an extreme talent, and he the station noticed that, and ended up he was doing part-time work, and then I know once I started moving up in the station, I really tried to make a big push to get him in a full-time capacity, and he just brings so much to the table. So
He does, man. He's
dope.
good people. I just shipped him out a poster. He when I printed these Nipsey posters, and he was one of the persons that purchased one, and so I mailed it out. He's out of Burbank. I'm like,
Yep.
okay, I see you
Yeah,
doing
Killer
your
B out
thing.
here doing his thing, man.
Like,
He's
that's
doing his
dope, man. I'm
thing.
proud of him.
Yeah, he's good people, man. Killer B, you got to come get on the Sabre podcast, bro.
Hey,
Come on.
you welcome anytime.
Yeah, for sure. So from the station, I mean, you did a whole bunch of things from because I met you through Ren and the whole nightlife Visalia stuff, and then you would bring artists out here, right? Like that's through Young California.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. I think so. When I was at the station, I started doing the homegrown show, and that's what really got me more focused into
Just local artists.
grooming talent,
Yeah,
grooming
okay.
local talent, and
I remember the
trying to help
homegrown
out.
show.
Yeah.
They had people like, was it iMac?
Yep,
And,
IMAC ENT with their song
man.
"Booty." That was
Yeah,
big.
Yeah,
I remember
man.
that video.
Nah,
I
the
was like,
homegrown,
okay.
the homegrown
remember
show
the
was
video.
dope. I remember like listening to the homegrown show when John Magic was hosting
Yep,
it.
shout out Magic. Yep.
And yo, like a fun fact, it was a couple of years ago, back when he was doing. I forget what it was, like 06 or
Yeah,
05 or something. And at this time, like we used to mess around with music back at home, and I remember like listening to the homegrown show, and they didn't have an intro, like. They had one with that one episode. They didn't have one, and I remember John Magic saying something like, "You notice we didn't have an intro. We're taking submissions.
Yeah.
So Cuddy on the beats or what?
bruh.
Cuddy beats?
Say bruh.
Say bruh.
Say bruh.
No, I had like a group of homies that we would mess around with Pro Tools or whatever, and we sent out an intro, and man, they used it for a couple of weeks.
Ooh, yo.
Where the royalties at?
I'm gonna have
Come
to,
on, man.
I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to dig in on the hard drive. I'm
Yo.
sure I still have it.
I need that.
But yeah, man, the Homegirl show was dope, and that's when I first heard Diego Red and
Yes.
the whole
From
in
Fashion,
the know,
Planet Asia, Shake
all
the
that.
Mayor, all the St. Cal
Shake
greats.
the Mayor.
man.
What happened to Shake the Mayor?
Shake the Mayor, man. Like
Shout him out.
dude is working, man. A lot of these cats is working, and I think the Homegrown show really made me appreciate the art form of just the arts in Fresno as a whole.
Yeah,
You know
man,
what I'm
because
saying?
it's like a whole industry within our just the counties. Even Relentless out in Porterville, like
Bro, he's dope.
all that, man. Like from Porterville, Visalia,
Yep.
Lemoore.
It definitely was a
Fresno,
platform for
everyone,
talent.
and you take it serious too. Like it's your whole little industry, and a lot of dope artists came out of that.
Oh,
so
a lot, man.
you were hosting that as well?
Yeah, definitely hosting, man. Hosting a Homegrown show for I want to say like 4 or 5 years. And when I first started, it wasn't a mix show. It was just you know, kind of songs would play. You get like, I think it was like 12 songs in an hour, 9 songs in an hour, something like that. You know, so it you know, you didn't get as much music in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then I just like, yo, let's turn it into a mix show. So then I started mixing the songs, and it gave it this different energy, because now those songs that you were like, I don't know about this one.
Right.
You blend them in with everything
blend them
else.
in with everything
'Cause
else.
before it was just like people were like just emailing them, and then you did the voting on the website.
Yeah, you vote, and then you know you played them and stuff. But I wanted to step the quality up.
Yeah.
In the market, you know what I mean. I wanted to step it up, and like, yo, this is the bar right here. And even though you guys are gonna hate me for a little bit, it's
But
for
it
your-
makes
it's
it
your
makes
own
you
good.
step your game up and take it a little more serious, and it grooms, like you said, it grooms the artist.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's a separation between local and global. Shout out to my brother Kenneth Page. He always says that, local and global, right?
KP.
Shout out KP. And if you want to take it to that next level, you have to be able to take those steps.
KP, little Lloyd.
Yeah, yeah. He's
This guy remind me of Lloyd.
yeah, he's definitely like a Lloyd Jeremiah hybrid. You know what I mean?
He's a good dude. And so did that take it to the Young California?
Yes. So shout out my brother DJ Amen and DJ
Amen.
Charisma. Amen was out in the Bay Area, 106 KMEL. DJ Charisma at the time was on Power 106 in LA.
And then
I
you
was
just
obviously
came
in
into
Fresno.
SoCal.
And I was like, yo, we got to bridge this gap. The first record that we got behind was Love Rants Up.
Okay.
That was the
Man,
first
that was a
record.
hit.
Man.
Big hit, right? So a lot of people.
Before yiking was yiking, that's when
Yikes.
oh, you was just getting it, you know?
That's a hit.
Yeah.
That takes me back to Republic.
Yep.
Them ratchet days at Republic.
Ratchet
Dude,
days,
yeah.
brother.
Hold on, wait. when I first heard that song, I want to say Sam hooked me up with one of the homies because I was like fresh in
Fresh in the
Fresno.
market, yeah.
And he's like, yo, to make you feel like you back at home, I'm going to hook you up with him and y'all go hit up Aldo's.
Aldo.
There you go.
I
Shout
want to
out
say
Aldo's.
Mo was hosting.
Shout out Mo, yep.
And, dude, it was just cracking at Aldo's and up. And then at the end of the night, I was like, why did I park inside this parking lot?
Oh, yeah, you
I was
can't get
trapped
out.
in.
Can't get out.
People out there doing donuts. I'm like,
Welcome
man,
to
they
Fresno.
wildin'.
Welcome to Fresno. Yeah, that was the first record we got behind, man. I remember I went up to.
Then he had an I Am Sue on that
San
one, right?
Francisco. Yeah, that was Love Rants, I Am Sue, and Skipper at the time. That was
Yeah.
the original.
Which I like the original.
Yeah, and we went up. Juicebox and I went up to the Bay Area actually for this DJ meetup, And Amen, that's when, we Love Rants Up was playing, and John Hart, Who Booty. Both of those songs were like, yo, these are going to be
Booty is
the,
it? Oh, yeah.
these are
That's
going to be
the
the two.
jam.
So then Juicebox and I, we brought both those records back to Fresno.
Yeah.
Juicebox was the first DJ to play Love Rants Up at a club out here. I brought it to the radio.
Yeah.
Got it played on the radio, so then it just blew up. Charisma took it and got it popping in L.A. She threw YG on it to have more L.A. appeal. That thing blew up, and then 50 Cent hopped on it. So that was the first record that I was a part of behind the scenes, getting it to all the DJs, getting it to the radio stations. And after that, boy, John Hart, Who Booty was the next one. And then we had
Problem. Like
Problem.
what?
Like what? Yeah, we had Problem.
People,
I remember
I
y'all were
love
pushing that
Problem.
hard.
People slept on Problem,
Problem
in my
is hard.
opinion.
Problem is
Man,
dope.
Problem is the shit.
Problem is hard, bro.
I'm more
I
like
still
that
listen to him now.
No,
he's
I was
dope.
playing it yesterday, and then I was listening to Wiz or whatever, and then Problem came out. Like, man,
Yeah.
this little era. It was the whole young California.
Yep.
Popular Demand had the
Popular Demand,
gear going
yep.
on.
Yeah, it was a great time for
all
the
that.
West, man. Because what we wanted to do, we wanted to get together and bring the West Coast back.
Yeah.
That's what the issue was. It's like the West Coast kind of fell off, right? And it just wasn't on the forefront. So we were like, yo, let's get these young up and coming cats and like just coach them up and show them the game. And that's literally what we did. And probably one of the best times in life, man, from Ty Paranoid. Shout out to Ty, man. He brought me a plaque.
Man, y'all brought him to Salador.
We brought him to Salvador, yes.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I like to do, man, is like, I'm connected outside of the market based off of being able to travel a lot. And I just try to bring everything back to Fresno, man.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I
that
mean?
was dope. You remember my boy Felix?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yep.
like he would go back to the hood and be like, man, I was in the same stage with Ty.Dolla$ign and all that. It's just that was a dope little era.
Little time, man. Yeah, and it's dope, man. Like Young California opened the doors for a lot of things, man. It put me in the position I am now. You know what I mean?
Even Sage the Gemini
Sage the
came out of
Gemini,
that, right?
Bruh, check this out. I throw DJ summits where I get all these DJs together to just introduce them to new up and coming talent.
Yeah.
The first one I did had like 20 DJs. Now when I do them, I'm averaging like 100 DJs
Sheesh.
from different markets, right?
Yeah.
And I got to do it in Miami, up in the Bay Area, but
Okay.
I always do it big in Fresno. Like I try to make it a point. So I have DJs coming to Fresno for this event. And this one particular time, we're doing the event, and Sage the Gemini came to the event. This is before anybody knew who he was. Anybody. He was just sitting. He was just sitting there. And I remember I was like, "Hey, let's put your song on." He was like, "Wait, what? Really?" So yeah, come up. I'm gonna introduce you. Introduced him. He said, "Hey, my name's Sage the Gemini. I have a song out the Bay Area. It's called Gas Pedal. And like everyone likes it." Right? We just played it, right? All the DJs, what? This is crazy. Gas Pedal, pew, shoots off.
Man.
Same with Red Nose, pew, shoots off. Next thing you know, he's doing records with Flow Rider, GDFR. He crazy.
He had more than one banger and
Yes.
was put in the right position of people, and
It went crazy, bro.
Man,
do you see that a lot where artists might have, that one hit, but they kind of slack off with the
Definitely.
the next hit?
Definitely. That happens all the time.
Is
man.
it just because they like ride that wave of that first hit too long, or what you?
I think I personally think it has to do with what I like to call character flaws, right? Everybody on this planet has character flaws. If you can acknowledge your character flaws, you're going to be able to make those adjustments to the point where those character flaws will not be your downfall, right?
Gotcha.
So there are a lot of artists that have that issue where their character flaws just mess it up. There's artists that have a big record, but then they walk around and just treat people like crap.
Yeah.
And then the next record that they have, nobody
No one's
gonna
gonna support it.
Nobody's gonna support it.
Yeah, for sure. And I see that too. Like, either it's either they get too comfortable, they start celebrating on that one single instead of going back to the kitchen and cooking up the next one,
studio.
and that, or they get impatient or something, or maybe the second hit didn't get the response as they did for the second.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing too. Is sometimes it just doesn't connect. The second song doesn't connect. I remember a DJ summit that I did. I brought Kaylani out for the first time before anybody knew who she was.
Yeah.
And she had a song called FWU at the time, and literally like she just put it out the day before. She came and she did the DJ summit. Nobody really knew who she was. She had a white bandana on, some like overalls, like really tomboyish. You know Kaylani.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kaylani, bro. She's like just a super special person. I love her. And she, we played the song for the DJs, and the DJs, it just didn't connect with them, right? Yeah. And then lo and behold, a little bit later, she's freaking out of here, and she's crazy and getting Grammy nominations and all this crazy stuff. So
that's crazy.
That's how it is. Sometimes the song just doesn't connect.
Yeah, man.
You know, I'm sorry to cut you off. Another artist who I like fell in love with was I Am Sue. Music.
I Am
Mr.
Sue.
6 Speed.
So yeah,
6 Speed.
Him and like I said, him and Problem was that was my thing when I
That
first
$1
moved
Million
there.
Afro
$1 Million
mixtape.
Afro. God,
Him, Jay Ant,
Crazy.
all
they
like
even had Juvie on that.
HBK, yeah.
Yep.
That song.
$100 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it
Hey, that's on the
Stand
birthday
on stand.
playlist. That's on the birthday playlist.
You got it?
I got
Man,
it.
shout out, what are we doing, man? Happy birthday, man.
I appreciate that.
Happy birthday, bro.
Man,
Come on, man.
Yo,
No,
yeah.
we just into it. I understand.
It is Troy's birthday today, so we
Appreciate
Happy birthday,
that.
man.
So if y'all listening, make sure to drop some comments on his IG or
I
somewhere.
appreciate
What do you
that.
want for your birthday?
I'm good. I'm blessed already. So
What you sipping on?
There you go. What's the beverage of choice?
Come on, man. You know I'm a Ciroc boy. So Diddy, if you want to sponsor your boy, you know, just for
Man, no labels, baby.
just-
Come
no
on,
labels,
man.
we got
Just-
you.
No labels.
just
dog.
for a weekend, you know, it's fine.
Nah, but man, I Am Sue.
Yeah.
He's up there on my list.
Oh yeah.
But speaking of what you're sipping on, how did that
Bruh.
come about?
You guys want the real story?
I
Yeah,
want the
let's
real
go.
story.
Give us the real.
Exclusive. All right.
Shout out to Kid Ryan.
Shout out to Kid Ryan. Shout out to Syrup. Shout out to Draft. Shout out to
Shout them out, man. That was-
Omid. Shout out my brother Meek. So check this out. So I literally was asleep in bed and I had a dream of this song. Like
Okay,
no
Martin
lie.
Luther King.
Uh,
Oh,
I had a dream. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther K-Rich. You feel me? So I literally had a dream. I woke up in the middle of the night and I opened my notes on my phone. And I literally, in my dream, I pulled up to, I'm literally envisioning it right now. I literally pulled up to this warehouse. I got out the car. And as I got out the car, I just remember hearing doom, 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 doom. You know, you're walking up to a party, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I remember I got to the door, I opened the door, and there was so many people inside, and Syrup was standing on top of a red car, and he was just going crazy, and everybody was rocking. And then I just remember in the dream I heard, "What you sipping? Tell me what you sipping." And then I woke up like that, right?
You're like, let me write this down.
Let me
Write
write
it
this
out.
down, right? And I remember I said the tempo of the song was like 95 beats per minute.
Yeah.
Like, no lie, 95 beats per minute. The Syrup's on the song. The hook is "What you sipping? Tell me what you sipping." And then I got up the next morning, re-looked at my notes. I hit Draft up. I said, "Yo, Draft, this is the song. This is the vibe. This is the energy. This is the vibe of it." And then he was like cooking up a beat. He sent over a beat. I said, And then he sent over another one. I was like, yes, this is the one right here. And then I took that, and then I got Syrup. I said, yo, Syrup, this is the hook. What you sipping? Tell me what you sipping. But that sounds corny, so
Yeah.
do your thing.
Add your
on
flavor,
it.
yeah.
Add your flavor. So then he put the little sauce on it, and then originally T-Fly was supposed to be on it.
Okay,
You
man.
know, this is
T-Fly
exclusive.
too. At that time, he
The time
had
he
them
was
hits.
going up. So before T.I. like popped off, all he had was this D was like starting to bubble.
Yeah.
So Charisma hit me and was like, "Yo, we trying to get this guy running through the same thing." So he came up to Fresno, and then I played it for him in the studio. And without getting into a lot of details, we had like a huge like disagreement in the studio, and he left the studio. So now he was just like, he's not really rocking with the song, or whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever. So at that point, I was like, man, whatever. So then at the same time, the Kid Ryan, he was rapping, but he was transitioning into singing.
singer, okay.
So I was working with him, and it was just like, yo, like, instead of you putting out a full-fledged song of you singing and have it your first single, let's introduce people to you as a singer on this song. That way, if the song flops, it's not on you, it's
Right.
on me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But if it pops, you'll get all the credit because everyone's going to love your thing. So then he knocked out a verse, and then I got back in the studio with him to fix a couple things. And then I was like, all right, we're just going to put this out and just see what happens. Boy.
Man, that was a hit.
What
you sipping on?
Tell me what you sipping on. Yeah, so that song went crazy. It just blew up. I at the time, like, the radio station was like, yo, like, we can't play this song on the radio because it's your song. Like, that's a conflict of interest. I was like, well, it's not playing on the radio. The streets are rocking with it. Next thing you know,
They're like-
they were like, yo, we might have to play it because the phone line started going crazy. Like I remember we went out to a high school, all the kids were singing it, and I was like, yo. And they put it on the playlist, and then they put it on the playlist on my birthday, and it went crazy.
Man, we would rock to that song out in Visalia, Republic, Salvador. It was just banging. Everybody loved it out there.
Crazy,
and y'all would have come out there. Ryan would have come out there and performed.
We
and
performed.
Just,
what?
Man, that was a good time.
If you haven't heard the song, it's called "What You Sipping On." DJKAYRICH featuring the Kid Ryan and Syrup, produced by Draft and mixed by me. Crazy song.
Hey, Cuddy.
Yes.
Where them cups at? What you sipping on cups?
I have those red cups.
red cups.
Even the little the coasters too.
The coasters, yeah.
I have them somewhere. Like I just moved back to the apartment, so
You're right.
they're around. But
I got a re-up for you too, because
Gotcha.
I did a re-up order and I got bigger cups because people say
is this for the Hennessy and
Yeah, he had
Plan B?
he had the cognac cups.
hey, you know what I'm saying? Look, what you sipping on is a universal cup. You know what I mean? It could be for the Henny and Plan B type songs, or it could be for the the what you sipping on songs.
That's dope, man.
That's
nah,
hilarious.
you definitely hit us with a banger right there, and
Appreciate it.
man, I still rock that song.
Man, speaking of like just hits, man, you had another song that made me feel like I was back in New Orleans. I was like, oh, drop it. Okay, I see you, girl. It was that oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
How did
With
that come
with
about?
that peach
Man,
emoji.
the peach emoji, man. Shout out to all the peaches out there. You
Did
feel
you
me?
get that copy written?
Nah, I didn't get a
You
copy
should.
written. I probably should have. But
How many DMs of
my
peach
God.
emojis come through?
we're not gonna talk about the DMs, okay? They're direct messages for a reason. You feel me?
And,
Stay in your lane, boy.
Stay in your lane, right? To be honest with you, man, it's crazy. So when I'm in a studio, there's different ways that songs come about, right? There's times where artists will come to me with the song completed, and they'll be like, "Hey, bro, like this is tight, right?" And I'll be like, "It's cool, but this is what I would do." And then I'll switch the whole thing from the drums to the kicks to hi-hats or whatever the case is. Hey, sing it like this, and it'll come out a whole different song.
You out there doing your Diddy joint.
I am on my Diddy. Call me Barry Gordy. You feel me? I'm on my Diddy for real.
Big Diddy energy over
You
here.
know what I'm saying? So this song in particular, I remember, shout out my brother Dre the most. He hit me up and said, "Hey, there's this cat named Jay Aubrey out of out of Bakersfield. And he has this record, bro, but it's like, I don't know, something's missing. So then I got with him, and then he sent the record over. I was like, yeah, something's missing. So then I literally went in, and bro, I ended up collaborating with like 3 or 4 producers on the song, because it was just things weren't hitting sonically like where I wanted them to be. And then I brought in, just a different element. I got on a track. I'm yelling, I'm talking, and it just had to literally restructure the song. Yeah. And then next thing you know, I was like, all right, we're gonna put this song out, but we got to shoot a music video for this. It's mandatory.
And the video was shot at a Sam spot.
Shout out to Sam, man. He just got his spot.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, you can do whatever you want. I was like, yo, I'm going to paint the walls. And he's like, okay. I said, no. I'm going to paint the walls some, like, crazy colors. Like, it's going to be pink over here. It's going to be yellow over here. It's going to be, like, neon green over here.
Yeah, he hit me up. He's like, yo, are you going to stop by the K-Rich's video shoot? I'm like, all right, show up. And then the beat kicks in, and then you just start seeing some dancing. Like, all right, I got to go.
You just start seeing ass everywhere,
Whoa. Like, you know what? Yeah. So we ended up shooting that, and then to be honest with you, I don't know.
You had a bunch of cameos out there too, right?
Cameos galore, bro. People just showed up. Shout out to Hall. Well, actually, Hall Out ended up.
What was Hall Out playing on there?
Was he? So what really happened is the first shoot. Here's behind the scenes stuff that people never know. Getting exclusive right here, Sabre Podcast. I even talked about this.
We appreciate it.
So the music video, we shot it right. When I hired these producers, these directors out of LA, right? And we ended up getting into it based off of them wanting to charge me more to edit the video together. And I was like, hold on, bro, this was supposed to be a whole entire, everything included. So then I was like, all right, you know what? I want the footage. Give me the footage.
Yeah.
Because that's the type of person I am. Like, if you're not a person of your word or you switch something up, the way I function, I'm just all like, all right, well,
here's your money, give me the footage.
Money, give me the footage. So I got the footage, and then I got with my man Raul from District 7 Studio, who is a huge part of everything that I do. Shout out to Raul. And we got the footage, and I'm looking through it, and they didn't include all the shots. So there's a lot of stuff missing. So I had to set up a second day shoot. So
Didn't know that.
So we had a second day shoot, and that's where Haul Out comes in. I was like, you know what? I want Haul Out to be involved in this because I think he's one of the most talented entertainers. Like, not even just comedic entertainers, entertainers. Period.
He's a character.
He's
man,
a
for
character.
sure.
I seen the podcast, y'all talking about the chicken, and he had the shirt on and all that other stuff. He wild, but he's talented, so I wanted to get him involved with it. So I ordered a huge peach.
Yeah.
Literally like an inflatable pool beach where you can lay out on the peach. And I had him blowing up the peach like the whole video. And then, it was just a funny comedic relief throughout the video. So that's how he got involved.
And you need that because, like, I mean, you always had those, like those classic videos. You had, like, Lil Duval and, like, homeboy that was on the tip drill video. I never knew his name. But, like, you just had all those characters. And,
it lightens it up, man. Like, music is fun. Like, I don't take anything so serious. Like, every song I put out is a vibe, and every song I put out is for fun.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I like to do. Like, even the song Friday that I put out, like, it's a Friday. Just, you ain't got nothing to do. Like, it's just a vibe. Like, it's a smoker's anthem, as a lot of people are saying. Like, I don't smoke. I've never smoked in my life. But I DJ, and when I DJ these parties and these events,
you hit the smoke machines.
There you go. And I see the energy, and that's like bringing it back to, like I was saying, like,
that was dope too.
Energy's there.
That was dope too. Like that with that video, you brought it downtown, right?
Yes.
During during the art hop?
Doing art hop, yeah. Because I think art hop is something special. I really do believe that. I think, like I said, when I first got to Fresno and starting to realize not just the music scene, but just the art scene just as a whole is just crazy. And what the downtown partnership is doing, what the Grizz has been doing, with all this energy that's coming out of downtown, I was like, you know what, let me use my platform to try to capture some of that, to give it to the rest of the world. So people from out of town have been hitting me up like, yo, that's Fresno? I'm like, yeah, man, like, you should check it out. Like, it's just a dope vibe,
Hidden gems.
Hidden gems. And to be honest with you, I'm a type of guy where, I'd like to do things rogue. Like, I'm like, yo, we're shooting a music video downtown. Let's just run and gun. And that's what we did. We just started mobbing the streets.
Wait. Was that the wave check video?
That was the wave check video.
I see you, Rich.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? It's light today.
How's Troy's wave looking?
I'm a little thin. No,
it's his birthday. It's his birthday. Okay,
you do what you want. It's your birthday.
Yeah, that was the wave check video. That's just a funny video. If you haven't seen it, it's like I said, I just like to have fun. And
speaking of wave checks, what's up with Omar Aura though?
Omar Aura got the wave. Omar Aura is the sponsor of the wave check, bro, because Omar has had waves since before waves were invented. You feel me?
Yo, man, if I could say something like next hit you do for us, for the players only.
For players only,
can you throw on some Omar Aura on there? Or what?
I got you, dog. I
feel like Omar Aura is like Fresno Cats is like Diego Red, Fashion, Planet Asia, but like
Omar's there.
Graph.
Yeah, graphic. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, he's the first artist I ever DJ'd for.
No way.
Period. Dope. Yeah. We met, and then we just connected, and from all the shows, when me and him connect, we do our shows, bro. It's definitely an experience, and I learned how to DJ for an artist with graphic. Period.
That's hella dope.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And he lives down here down the street.
So we don't have to pop up on him. You know what I'm saying?
We have to roll up on him.
But that's why I always like working with him. Like, no matter what I do, like if there's certain songs I hear him on, like I'll hit him, hey, I got a joint for you. It's never a question. You know what I mean? He'll hop on it from the Friday to the Fresno anthem. I don't know if y'all heard the Fresno anthem. We got a good one too. That's one where I hit him up. I said, hey, let's do this Fresno joint. So he's always.
All right, I'm gonna correct myself because you have been putting him on.
No, man.
I guess in my head I just picture like a hit from him.
A hit record for him, yeah. He has a couple.
Man, I'm gonna like that players only mixtape. That's the one. That's the fucking.
That's
one.
the one.
Like,
bro.
I let that play from start to end,
press
and
play.
it's just a good one.
Yeah, I really like Omar, man. Omar is one of those artists, bro, that like he paved the way for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like Omar is so cool and has radio potential, but at the same time, the streets rock with him. You know what I mean? Like the music that he puts out is just so dope. Like from like when he put out the Automatic joint. Yeah. You know what I mean? I remember he had that joint. From that you had G-Funk, bring
was a
G-Funk
good
back. You know what I mean? From what's the one with him and Fashion? I love that song.
The Breakfast.
Well, Breakfast is another one.
That's on Fashion's album.
That's on Fashion Joy. Yeah. He had the one with couldn't feel it. Piece of the G's because I get the G's with the G's, 100 degrees. Cali Express got way by the knees.
I don't know the song.
Hold on. I'm going through it. Hold on.
Is it okay?
Hey, shout out to Stantastic on the beat. It was Fash. Oradon. Oh my God. Hold on, bro. This is gonna piss me off. I gotta get it.
I know that feeling. I gotta
get it. Hold on. I gotta get it. No. Omar, don't be mad at me, bro. Don't be mad at me, dog. You know I know the records, man, but I'm just drawing a blank right now.
Hey, I'm looking at Rich's phone, and the first thing that popped up was the Say Bruh
podcast. Come on,
Spotify.
What you think this is, bro?
I see
What
you.
you think this
I
is?
see you.
What you think this is, dog? Come on, man. You know I got a bruh. Say bruh. Okay, but let me get to Omar real quick, man.
Yeah.
1,000 Palm Trees. That's the one, bro. That's my joint, man. Shout out to O, bro, for real.
From the Oradon.
So speaking of music, you got this song that I've been hearing, Henny and Plan B.
Yo.
I mean, I don't even drink brown.
You don't even expect that from Rich, right?
Yeah,
that's what everybody says.
It's like,
bro.
wait, what?
Everybody says that, like, what are you doing? But when you hear the song,
you gotta cater to everybody, though.
Bingo. So this is you gotta cater to everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is my whole thing. Is like when I'm in the DJ booth, every song I put out is from the DJ booth. Okay, like that's where I come up with these songs.
Yeah.
Majority of them, I'm in the booth and I'm looking at these parties and I'm looking at people dancing crazy over here. Or if I do like an 18 and up party, it's a certain level. Or if I do like a house party or a kickback or a wedding, like every vibe is different. And the Henny and Plan B came about because there was a clip on Instagram of this a couple girls. They go to Walgreens and they're inside of Walgreens. And she's talking about how she's gonna have a hot girl summer, and she said she had the bottle of Henny, and then she said, I need some Henny and a Plan B, and then they start grooving in the song like, I need some Henny and a Plan B, I need some Henny and a Plan B, and I'm like, yo, that could be a song. That's just how my mind works.
Syrup came to
and
mind.
then I was like, syrup. So I posted it. If you pay attention to my story, you'll be like, yo, he did post about this, and I remember I put it up and I tagged Syrup. I said, yo, Syrup, you need to make this song because Syrup is the king of the ratchets, point blank, period.
Yeah.
And then at 4:00 in the morning that night, Draft hit me up, blew my phone up and said, check your email. And I was like, oh, here we go. I clicked on it. Sure enough, Draft made a beat like that. And I was like, bro. And then I heard it and I was like, I'm going to have to doctor this up. Because that's me and Draft's relationship.
Yeah.
He'll make like a beat and then he'll send me the stems for the beat. And he'll be like, I already know you're going to change everything up. Yeah. So here. So then I got in the studio that next morning, like at 7 a.m. I called District 7 studio. I said, Raul, emergency. I need to get in the studio. And then
D7, open the doors.
Open the doors. So then Syrup came to the studio. He laid his verse. And then as soon as he started his verse, I was like, oh my God, I think we got one. And then so I just, messed the beat up a little bit, changed it up, and then sent it over to Prices to Rock out of the Bay Area. Another guy who kind of was in the forefront of a lot of these Bay Area dances that come out. And he hopped on it. And then there's a girl that I think is a superstar that he's dealing with. Her name is Heaven Marina. She's out the Bay Area as well. She's from San Jose. And I had her get on the track too, just kind of talking on the hooks and stuff. And bro, I'm telling you right now, the song, even though it's called Henny and Plan B, and you might look at the artwork, and the artwork's literally a Hennessy bottle.
Yo, and shout out to homie Chris. Did he?
Oh no, Chris didn't do that one.
But you've been rocking with Chris.
But Chris is the homie.
Okay.
Chris does all my club flyers.
Gotcha.
Point blank. Period. Shout out to Chris.
Also here shouting them out already.
Yeah, but like, yo, Chris.
It looked like his artwork.
Yeah, no. But Chris is dope. Chris is dope.
The artwork's crazy.
Yeah, and it's very blunt. It's like once you see the artwork, like people are probably like, "What do you mean the artwork?" Might as well just show them right now. Like when you see the artwork, it's like an instant one of those things where you're like, oh, so there's
what are y'all promoting?
What are you promoting over there? But really, I'm promoting safe sex. If you really think about it,
safe drunk sex.
If you want to say that too, that is true. Let's see here. Okay, let's do this right here. We ain't gonna play it though. You know what I'm saying? But that's like, you know what I mean? That's the artwork right there, just so you can see it. And it says Henny and Plan B. And we literally just put the song out, and a whole bunch of people started to you know, go crazy. But like girls started sending videos of twerking and saying, "This is my anthem." I'm like, okay, like, but I just, like I said, I like to just create songs that are unique, or I like to create songs that, you know, people can relate to, because there's people out there that may have had one of them nights where, I had too much Hennessy and I didn't have the safe sex, so, you know, that might have been a situation. Yeah, you know what I mean? Hey, you just got back from Vegas.
Hey, we gotta save that for the dating episode or something.
Okay, got you. So yeah, so that's that song, and it's a banger, man. It's a short song, but it's a banger.
Man, that shows that Rich cares.
Yeah, K-Rich cares.
K-Rich cares.
Hey, but speaking of K-Rich cares, man, you're always doing a lot of good for the community. If people don't know you, Rich got a huge heart for not just his community, but just everybody. And I've seen it up close and personal with, you know, the different events that you do, from, you know, the toy drives to the socks and blankets and hydrate the homeless.
Yeah.
Why? You don't have to do that. Yeah,
well, I've just been the type of individual, man, where like, well, my mom used to work and live inside of a homeless shelter, right? When I was like, well, I wasn't born yet, but like when she was had my sister. So she always instilled in us, like, no matter how good or how bad you're doing, somebody else is out there doing worse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just always was mind-blowing to me that there's individuals in certain positions of power, or whatever power you may see. It may not be a lot, it may not be a little, but there's people in positions that don't use their voice to make a stand for something, right? So I've always just been the individual that can see, like, yo, if somebody needs help, like, you can't take an hour out of your day. You can't take 10 minutes out of your day you going inside Walmart already, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You can't just pick up some socks and just drop it off over here on the street corner. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I've been raised. And, you know, I feel like there's people out there that want to get involved with community service, but don't know how. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, and that's what I think is, that's where I think God put me on the earth, is to help people through music, through my platform, through my influence. So I just try to create opportunities where you might not be comfortable getting involved with the Red Cross, because that's too big of an organization.
Yeah,
I don't know.
right.
But you might be like, oh, that's cute. That's DJKAYRICH. Like, he's a cool guy. I want to hang out with him. Oh, wait, he's doing a Hydrate the Homeless drive. Like, it's more obtainable to some people.
For sure.
And people get involved. So that's why I really do it.
No, man, and that's inspiring right there itself. Like, we just had our school supply drive-in.
Yep.
That, like, doing like what you did, and us just dropping off cases of water, whatever it was, like, it kind of inspired that as well. Like, or just let us know, like, man, you could do it. Just go directly to the people.
You can, man.
So
no, that's dope,
big,
bro.
man.
I think, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? It's just
Sparking,
impact.
yeah.
Because it's like, you know, it didn't start with me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a vehicle that God's using to help people. So if I can help people, and then other people help people, like, that's where it's at. You know, we just got to keep it going, because at the end of the day, man, everybody needs a helping hand at some point. You know, so that's dope, man. Yeah, the school supply drives, like sock giveaways, like whatever it is. If anybody needs help with something, like, hit me up. I'm with it.
Do you have one planned out for this winter?
So I'm gonna definitely gonna do a sock drive. I'm gonna put schools up against each other for like 4 weeks.
You would do like the blanket drives, right?
Yep.
With
do the blanket drives with the football teams. Yeah, I'll have the high schools. I'll find out who the leaders are at different high schools, and I'll have them challenge the students that go to the school to bring blankets to the football game. So to the tailgate, you'll see a whole bunch of blankets collected. Or what I really like to do, really gets the kids involved, is I talk to the activities directors for rival schools. So like, say like what, Fresno High versus like Bullard, or Edison versus whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I get them to do a sock drive. So whichever school collects the most socks in a week, I'm going to come to your school and DJ, and I'm going to bring an artist with me.
There you go.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
so,
dope, man.
You know what I mean? Just to get the kids like, yo, all you got to do is bring some socks. Like, come on.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
to it.
Yeah.
That's hella dope, man. And yeah, no, it sparks it up, and it keeps it going. Like, so whenever that does happen, and man, you know, you got us here.
Oh no, I appreciate it, bro. For real.
Hope you
Need
guys
that Sabra care package, you know what I mean? For the kids, you dig?
for the
You
kids.
know what
We'll
I'm
make
saying?
it
FTK.
happen. FTK for the kids. No, well, we'll make it happen for sure. And so now, with all that, moving on to what you're doing now, which is you got the logo.
yeah,
I see the logo over here, Empire.
Okay.
Empire
Well, what's the
versus
situation
everybody.
with that? If you could speak on.
Yeah, shout out to Ghazi, shout out to Brian Sampson and the whole Empire family. Empire started off as a digital distribution company where they were distributing music for artists. So Kendrick Lamar's Section 8 project to so from way back then, even then before then, and they developed an ability to do things for artists that traditional record labels couldn't in the changing climate. And so, with all the artists that they had, they noticed that I played a big role with the Young California stuff and just helping break artists. When everything ended with my radio time at iHeartRadio, they hit me up and they're like, hey, would you want to help, take some of these artists to radio stations? We know you have relationships. You're punctual. Like, people like you. That's like half the battle.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, like, let's do it. So I just, took Neff the Pharaoh out and then took Pilo out. And then next thing you know, they're like, yo, we want you with the gang. I was like, oh, for real? It's
Like,
yeah.
wear my hand like Birdman. Give me that.
Where the chain, baby? Where the chain,
Where
baby?
the contract at?
So then that's probably one of the best things that's happened to me in my life. I didn't know that I would be making a living off of music because, all this is fun to me. And I'm able to travel. Empire has me traveling the world, bringing DJs together to show them artists that I truly believe in.
Ain't it crazy, how God is so amazing? One door closes.
Man.
And I'm pretty sure you probably was stressed at the time,
Oh,
like
for sure.
trying to figure out like, okay, what's next
Exactly.
in my career, and then bam, this other door
and
opens.
then this door open.
Man, good things happen to good people, man.
Man.
And
For real, man. And that's why the Say Bruh podcast is out here on episode 12, you dig?
Hey.
feel
We
me?
out here, dog.
Well, what's the position with Empire?
With Empire, so my first year, I was...
You out here on the road. I seen you out
Yeah,
there
bro.
you were in Corpus in
Corpus
Selena's.
Christi, bruh.
What
Selena.
was it the gift
Bruh,
shop or
no, that's
the
Selena's-
museum?
Selena Museum. I got to hang
You
out
out there,
with
you out in
Selena's
New
dad
York,
and
you out
sister.
there everywhere.
Yeah, so pretty much I am a record promoter. But my actual title is, I actually got promoted at the end of last year, so now I'm national. So
Okay,
before I was
okay.
just West Coast, so
I
you
see
know what I'm
you.
saying? You know what I'm saying? We out here got to flex one time.
Hey man,
dig?
you've been talking to John Stockton by any chance?
John Stockton, I got to holler at him. Me and him always have stories, though. We always talk about, because John Stockton, shout out John Stockton, he the homie. Yes, him being a record rep, a record promoter, so he knows exactly what the job entails. There's a lot of long nights, a lot of long days. Like, you can be getting up at 5:30 in the morning, and you can be hitting the road, visiting radio stations literally all day. I'm doing radio station lunches and dinners with the entire staff, and then going to the hotel, check in for an hour just to shower and change, and then go to the
get
club.
back on the road.
Get in the club to promote the song, have the artist performing in these different cities, and then we got a lobby call at 5 in the morning, and we're strolling in at 3:30 in the morning. We got a flight at 6, 7:30. So, really, being a national, record promoter for Empire is probably one of my most happiest things and most proud. I'm so proudful and prideful, of being a part of Empire, because I'm working with record label executives that found Montel Jordan, that found Chris Brown. Shout out
dope.
Tina Davis, that have developed a lot of these artists that we grew up on. You know what I mean? And they're all over on Empire because it's the best position ever.
That's a position you should be in, and I'm sure it's just the beginning. It's
for sure.
gonna continue.
Oh, for
to
sure.
grow.
It's continuing, man. That's why I'm on the road. I'm in Fresno like 2 to 3 days a week now.
Yeah, so
You know what I'm saying?
So we've been wanting to have you on the episode for a while, and it's like it's perfect time. It's like, man, he's around town. Let's
do it.
catch him while we can.
Nah, and but you guys,
The
man, it's
APB
always
out
love,
for
man.
Rich. Where you at?
Say, put the
Nah,
bat signal up.
Nah, man, we proud of you. And so like every time we see you on the road or just with different artists and doing what you do or dropping the hits, like we're cheering
I
for you, man.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And I'm trying to just bring it back to the city, man, because like I feel like Fresno is the most untapped talent area in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like I firmly believe that, and that's not just with music and arts. I think that goes for a lot of other things too. You have the sports out here, the kids that are coming out of high school and going to these different colleges. You'll see them and it'll say hometown Fresno, and you'll be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, or hometown Huron. You know what I mean? You'll be like, what?
You know who I'm trying to get on to the podcast? You did his birthday.
Jalen Green.
Jalen Green. We got to get.
Shout out Jalen. Yeah, that would be big. He's traveling all over the place doing his basketball thing. But that's another example where you have an individual that is a monster on the court. Beast. You know what I mean? He's only 17.
Yeah.
16, 17 years old. I remember I DJ'd his birthday party. Bruh. When you hear birthday party for a high school student, what you thinking? Oh, Chuck E. Cheese or something like that.
Backyard party.
Golf land, little party. Man.
They were wilding out there.
We did a party at Azteca Theater, and there was 1,000+ kids that showed up.
Yikes!
And when I say it was popping, you would think it was like it was like an artist performing. Everyone came for Jalen Green, and I was just like, yo, like there was so many people in there. But that's what I'm talking about. Like Fresno does support Fresno, but Fresno will, Fresno gonna tell you about yourself real quick. You know what I'm saying?
What about I heard of him from DJ DeSoto, Sean F.
Sean F is a beast. Sean F started off as a videographer. That's my frat brother too, Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. He goes to school in San Diego, but he's from Fresno. And I remember he was doing a lot of videography work for different artists. And then he hit me up. He said, hey, like I have this record with Mike Sherm, and it's called I'm a Dog. He sent it to me. It has Neff the Pharaoh on it too. I heard it and I was like, bro, like, this ain't it. I said that. And he knows it too. I tell this story all the time. I said, this ain't it. I said, the only way I'll support it is you have to put in the work. Like, you got to go get this popping. And he was like, well, how do I do that? And I was like, bro, you just got to go do it. I was like, pull up to the high schools, like, get everyone talking about it.
But the record was good?
The record it needed momentum
for
me to really co-sign it. You know what I mean? Like even still to this day,
he got to do the footwork.
He got to do the footwork because I get hit a lot from artists like, yo, bro, put me on. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm not putting nobody on.
Right.
Like, I need to put in the work.
It's easy to send the DM or like you see the email on the bio. Like,
exactly. Like my inbox is crazy with songs. And it's I want you to put in the work because now it makes me be able to say, yo, there's a difference with me saying, hey, y'all got to check this dude out. He's tight.
Yeah.
And, hey, you got to check him out because Sean F. has been pulling up to high schools. He's been to over like 100 middle schools and high schools now probably.
I've been checking it out.
Right? You see it. He literally pulls up across the street from the school, hops on top of his car.
He's
and
doing
all the kids
that blue phase joint.
Just roll up on him. All the kids come out. And then he performs a song on top of the car.
I'm a dog.
Yeah. And all the kids sing it.
Getting it.
And now the song, I can't not play it in the club. I can't not send it out to the DJs. And what happened is I had my DJ summit, and guess who I invited to come? Sean F.
There you go.
And he came, and I told the DJs what he was doing, and he put together a video presentation of all the kids singing his songs. Every DJ in there was like, what? This is crazy. And then a program director from Stockton, California, 209, what up? K-Win was there. Shout out to Jiggy. And he saw that he was at the DJ summit, and he was like, this is crazy. He took that song, took it back to Stockton, and started playing it on the radio out there. Crazy, right?
Grind. Do that footwork, man.
Gotta grind, man.
You got to. So now we know why it took him to the 12th episode for us.
Oh, see here. Hey, man, you gotta get your grind on,
That's
dog.
what I got out of all this.
You know what I'm saying? I needed my water straight from the Amazon. You know, I just needed that water. Mm-hmm.
That's dope, man. Nah, yeah, for sure. You gotta grind it out and believe in yourself and actually put that footwork before you expect someone just to.
You got to. I always tell people, if somebody's working harder than you at something that you want to do, that's a problem. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't push you as an artist harder than if I'm working harder than you as an artist. Like, what's going on with you?
And too, I feel like you got to find like different approaches to like try to get your attention. You can't just send a DM or the email. Like I'm sure you have you said, you have your email full of the same thing. Like come at it in a different angle. Yeah. Pull up to the school, jump on the roof, whatever it is.
You got to do something that's gonna catch your attention, or come to an event.
Yeah.
I mean, holler at me at the end of the event, like, yo, I just wanted to let you know, like, boo, boo, boo.
Drop that CD off.
Don't burn a CD.
Don't bring a CD, bro. Them things turn into frisbees, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Don't bring a CD. I did throw That's what KP
That
did
flash
when he
drive.
did the flash drives, and
Yeah.
it had. I remember I caught one at the DJ Summit.
Yep.
It had the single.
Yep.
It had the clean.
It had everything in there.
The explicit. It had
Yep.
the everything. Acapella might have
Everything.
the artwork and everything. I was like, I'm not a
Everything.
DJ, but I was like, all right, this is dope. That's the way to do it
And
because
it's about your packaging. You know what I mean?
presentation,
It's
man.
all about the presentation, bro. Like if the presentation's whack, like why should I do it?
Gets-
If your
get-
song's not mixed and mastered,
Yep.
why should I listen to it?
And I'm sure you feel that because I mean, me as an artist, if your photography ain't right, if the artwork ain't right, you have just some bootsy ass font. Like
I'm not
like
doing
I'm
it.
not gonna pay attention to it as much. Your logo's pixelized. I'm
Right.
not gonna pay. I ain't gonna pay attention to it as much. And I'm sure you pay attention to the mix mastered and
Everything. Like, and the thing is like I'm that guy that's gonna make you upset that I hear everything and see everything,
but it's only gonna better.
but it's
yourself.
gonna make you better.
Yeah, that's dope.
Well, Rich, we definitely appreciate you coming on for season 2.
Oh, it's
But
all good.
before you get out here, you know we got to hit you with that quote of the day.
Let's do it. Let's see what this. Eventually, you'll end up where you need to be, with who you're meant to be with, and doing what you should be doing. DJKAYRICH.
You know.
That K Rich Gas. Well, this is the Say Bro podcast. Good day.
Yeah.